Hey folks, in today's video I'm going to get into why sugar is a beneficial nutrient and is not the cause of diabetes, cancer, heart disease or any other life-threatening disease. It's not an easy topic to approach because it flies in the face of so much of what's out there in mass media today. But let's get into it anyway. Sugar-free, low glycemic, low calorie, I quit sugar. This is all we've heard for the last 10 years or so. And you know, if I had a YouTube video for every time I heard sugar causes diabetes, I'd probably have the biggest channel here on YouTube. But why do people believe this? Why do people believe that sugar is the cause of diabetes? Diabetes is essentially a problem with sugar absorption. So the body's way of fueling itself is to take on food in the form of sugar. So it takes food in and converts it into an absorbable sugar format, be that glucose, sucrose, lactose, something like that, and then it fuels the cells using something called insulin. So insulin is like the key to get the sugar form into the cell. A diabetic person's body does not metabolize sugar properly due to one of two issues. The first issue is the pancreas is not producing enough insulin, and this is known as type 1 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is when the body does produce enough insulin, but it's insulin resistant. There's a resistance in the insulin receptor sites, so effectively the keyholes in the cells. There's a resistance to the insulin that the body's producing. Think of the body's cells as like little powerhouses that keep us alive, and sugar is what fuels those cells to keep us alive. And insulin is the key that opens the door to let the fuel in. Now here's the crucial part. Fat is like chewing gum that clogs the cell door, that clogs the keyhole in the cell door, disallowing the insulin from working and letting the fuel into the cell. Sugar is essential for our body to function optimally, and in a type 2 diabetic, fat is clogging the cells, preventing the sugar from getting in. Primarily, that's the primary cause of type 2 diabetes in Western society. Type 1 diabetes is very different. This is typically something people are born with, and it's where the body actually doesn't produce enough insulin in the pancreas. So type 2 is completely reversible. It can be reversed on a whole foods plant-based diet, which cleans out the insulin receptor sites over time and just gets the whole insulin sensitivity back online, gets the whole sugar metabolism mechanism back online again. This demonizing of sugar fits so neatly into our quick fix, symptom suppressant attitude that we have in modern society. We can't process sugar, so hey, let's remove the sugar. It just seems like such an easy thing to do. But what about the root cause? Why is the sugar not being metabolized properly? You know, people, they remove the sugar, but it's not their fault. It's just what they've been taught. That's what we've all been taught to do, is just remove the symptom. But for those people who are willing to look at the root cause, almost all Western diseases are completely reversible. Dr. Neal Barnard, one of my heroes on this lifestyle, he specializes in reversing type 2 diabetes. He has a book. He wrote a book called Dr. Neal Barnard's Program for Reversing Diabetes. And guess what? It's based on a whole foods, low-fat, plant-based diet. That's his whole ethos, his whole program, his whole mentality is get the drugs out of your life and clean out the insulin receptor sites using the whole foods, low-fat, plant-based diet. And the same goes for cleaning out your arteries, coronary heart disease. Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, he wrote a book called Preventing and Reverting Heart Disease. Guess what? It promotes a whole foods, low-fat, plant-based diet, and it's all about reversing heart disease because it need not exist. One of his famous quotes is, coronary heart disease is a toothless paper tiger that need not exist, and if it does exist, it need never ever progress. Something to that effect. So just know that if you came to this lifestyle to heal your eczema, that you're probably doing a whole world of good to the internal organs of your body. Remember that your skin only starts to heal when the internal, more crucial areas of your body are taken care of. So you're probably, preventing a lifestyle that would lead you to preventable disease if you had not found this lifestyle because of your eczema. Fat, particularly the harmful fat, is found in animal products. You know, the stuff that promotes cancer and heart disease and all this stuff that we're talking about. And that's why we say to avoid animal products at all costs. Sure, there are some whole food fatty plants like durian and coconut and avocado and nuts, and that's why we promote those things in moderation. But for the rest of the stuff like potatoes and rice and pasta and corn and fruits and veggies and you know, all of that abundant food that we love. You know, some of this stuff we even refer to as comfort food. We can enjoy those. We can enjoy those to our heart's content because they're naturally low fat, and they've naturally got a lot of fiber in too, so they just cleanse us out over time. The bottom line here is fruit and other sugars is not the threat or the cause of diabetes or any other life-threatening disease. You don't need to worry about that on this lifestyle. Enjoy your fruit. Keep the fat low. Keep the fat low. You'll do that. You'll do that if you're on this lifestyle abundantly. You're eating plenty of, you know, bananas and dates and potatoes and rice and all of this stuff that we talk about. If you're enjoying all of those things to your heart content, and you're only using avocado and nuts and these things, you know, as a condiment to add to your food, you're going to be fine. You're going to be predominantly carbohydrate. You're going to be low fat, and your body is not going to be at risk of anything like diabetes or cancer or heart disease. If you really want to get deeper into these topics, there's some books down below that I highly recommend that you read. They're all by doctors, and they will confirm for you with hardcore scientific evidence that sugar is not a problem, and you'll have some answers. You'll have some answers to give to people. By all means, share this video, but if you want scientific, you know, doctor-written evidence on sugar not being a problem, look at the books down below and share those with all the people that say to you that sugar is going to cause you heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and all the rest of it. Plenty of evidence out there. We live in a sugar-phobic society, and you're going to need this education to support you and bolster you on your journey.